what's really going on. So you don't assume that what you're seeing is what's really going on. You ask to be shown what's really going on. It has a very interesting effect on things if you're sincere in really wanting to know what's really going on. The first way to start all this is to do it that way, to piggyback on top of your future selves that way. It's kind of it's a shortcut. And then gradually you learn how to do it more completely within yourself.
Interesting. It feels almost like the tuning of a frequency or a radio station. It's fuzzy. You just have to start playing with the dials and till you start.
Yes, we're in a greater transformational field, and we only fully feel it when we need to tune up our frequency, and then we realize that there are these multidimensional forces at work that are actually there to help us do that, and all we have to do is be present to the light around us and to the consciousness, the unified consciousness field around us, and open to it. But I admit that living in certain places and situations, this can be very difficult. So sometimes you do have to go into a very, very inward space and make time for it, and be very conscientious about it, because it does require a certain focus. That's the thing.
And as we know, the majority of life is in the cities, and the focus is constantly being pulled in a multitude of directions, which is not conducive to what we're talking about.
Yes, I'm going to confess that I lived in Portland, Oregon at this time of year 39 years ago, and I haven't lived in a city since. 39 years ago. And I do live in a different reality than that. And I grew up in New York City, right in New York City.
Wow.
And I do understand the city life a little bit too well. You know what I mean? So I'm not ignorant of city ways, but I've gone away from them a lot. And it is true that I'm tuning in a very... Well, the most favorable factor, though, to be honest, is that I'm with a woman, Luminara. We've been together for 12 and a half years, and we tune to the same frequency together. We're completely in the same spirit path and journey. It's not, one or both of us. It's just this thing that we are together, and so it's much easier that way. And that's my really unfair advantage. So I will admit to that, because I am constantly mirroring off of someone who anything I'm seeing and feeling and knowing, she's there with it, and same vice versa. So, but nonetheless, people can tune up their frequencies. They just have to get to this place where they realize that something is already going on. This is what I'm going to say over and over again. These things are already going on. We just have to open to the awareness of them. You're not trying to create something. You're trying to be aware of something that's already going on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that also makes a lot of sense. So all of the people who are busy, studying this, create your own reality and the rest of it, might be might be doing unnecessary work that it would be much easier if they just let go and tuned into what it already is.
Yes, because essentially spirit forces are so close to us now that we can basically be inwardly, spiritually attuned. You said at the beginning that, the 60s were magical and the magic seems to have gone away. The magic that exists now is this future magic very close at hand that really wants to re-infuse us with a magical existence.
Oh, that is music to my ears. That is music to my ears, really. It is.
Because, of course, that was what was exciting in the 60s, was the magic.
Yes. Well, and as a child too, just everything was magical. Everything was
Yes.
alive.
Yes.
Everything was breathing. I mean, and until your parents start saying, stop playing with your food, or don't do this or don't do that, and when you start shutting down, of course, the magic starts to go away because.
By the way, we have 4 small children here of our own.
Oh, how wonderful!
Between 2 and 9 years old. I'm even older than you, but nonetheless, I have these small children, and we're in that with them, and we don't do the usual trip of the parents telling the children what to do, nor do they tell us what to do, but we're just in a different kind of field.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Oh, yes. Well, of course, I wish we had time to talk about the new kids and how they're coming in just so aware and awake and so conscious and intent and full of intent. They're just brilliant, and they have so much to teach us, and that's magic in itself. And there are people that are having experiences now with elves and the fairies and divas and the rest of it. It does seem that there's a renaissance of the mystical.
Yeah, and it's just the slightest ripple compared to what's going to happen, because essentially that part of our being is waking up. As I was saying earlier, the spirit part of us is really waking up, even while the soul depths keep going through all this stuff.
Wow. Well, Ellias, we have just about run out of time. I can't believe it. I'm just fascinated by all this. I could just keep talking for hours. Well, keep, dialoguing with you. But we're just about out of time. There's enough time for you to share I know that you do readings and so on. You don't have a website. Neither do I. If you'd like to share any information about how people can contact you.
Go ahead. Best way right now is to phone at one of 2 numbers. Voicemail 831-425-3134. And then home phone here in Hawaii is 808-822-7878 without a message phone here. So we're you call and see if you get us, and we're here. But in Kauai, and there is a website coming up, but I don't think it's fully there yet, and I'm not running it. I'm letting friends do it, so we'll see about that. But for the moment, let's just stick with this.
Wonderful. Well, gee, thank you so much for being with us tonight. It has been a treat, an honor, and a delight. And I just can't thank you enough for sharing yourself with the world like this.
Yes, and I appreciate you. I don't know you outwardly, but you're a true Virgo, and Virgo is not a bad word in my vocabulary, so you're a true Virgo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And you're welcome back anytime as these energies ramp up. If you'd like to share anything with us, come back anytime and be on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.